Hello, Francesca Solomon here. I'm here to talk about the IoT, which is the Internet of Things, its dangers, and how to protect yourself. So, what are the dangers of the Internet of Things? Most of those devices that they put out in the market are not secure enough. Majority of IoT devices are sold using a default username and password. Some of them don't have any username and password at all. The username and password cannot be changed as the information is hard-coded into the firmware of the device. Unfortunately, these devices do not provide the capability for customers or businesses to alter their settings and change the username and password so that each device becomes unique. Part of this exposure arises from the fact that too often, in the rush to bring new products to the market, companies such as Samsung and Apple, they put the security in the back corner so that they can push out products into the market. So privacy and security features are only tacked on after the fact rather than baked into the device at the outlet. So the problem with changing the username and password is that many manufacturers are reluctant to allow the customer to change settings within the device for fear that it will become unusable or that they will gain greater access into the system than the manufacturing company is comfortable with. There is also the fact that many of the same manufacturers have copyright or digital right management protections, which prevent the owner of the device from changing settings unless they want to become involved in some type of legal role. So now one of the biggest fear of IoT, which is hackers. Poorly secured IoT devices on a corporate network with known or easily guessed password and passcode are the perfect entry point for cyber criminals. If the device is a router or other kind of control or network device, then it's even better for criminals because they can modify the firewall and network services to their ends. Cyber criminals will be able to spy on users. They can collect and store important information about businesses, sell those information, and share with other parties. Cybercriminal will also make these devices directly or indirectly carry the capability to cause physical system and processes around the user to malfunction, break down, or trigger a chain reaction. This chain reaction will cause physical damage to the user and their surrounding. One major IoT attack disclosed recently was found by Akamai Technology Inc. Researchers reported distributed denial of services, which is DDoS, which caused some attacks that started using insecure IoT device configurations. Attackers identified how the Simple Service Discovery Protocol, which is SSDP, can be abused to amplify malicious responses, to spoof IP traffic to participate in DDoS attacks. Okay, so as mentioned by Bernard Moore in Forbes magazine, ransomware is also another potential danger. So ransomware are basically viruses that are released into those devices, and these viruses are already used to infect computers and make valuable data unusable unless a ransom is paid. Last year, researchers at SYMC showed that these sort of viruses could be programmed to spread from one device to another, locking the user out of their phone, then their watch, and the future perhaps their car, their fridge, or their entire house. Now, one big issue that everyone will face is the lack of privacy. The other issue associated with IoT devices is the amount of data that they share about the user. The more devices in use by the household or business, the more data shared with other sources. All of this data sharing allow organizations, or even worse, individuals with bad intent to build a profile on you and your company. And that could potentially be used in some type of identity theft or hacking events. A lot of those information are sometimes shared to third parties, and a lot of those informations are also lost. So what can you do to protect yourself? The first rule is to be informed. Inform yourself on the device, whether it's for your home or your business. Always look at the risk versus rewards of having a system with IoT properties. Second thing, have a plan of action. People in organizations should have a plan of action to defend themselves. Enterprises may also want to scan their network to look for insecure configured devices. If such devices are found, SSDP could be disabled or limited to an approved network. And also, always keep your devices updated on all your also keep the software updated on all your connected devices. It's the only way to make sure that the vendor is providing bug fixes. If your device hasn't been updated, it may mean that the manufacturer is no longer working, and that could be a potential red flag. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you everyone for listening.